Hi friends, and welcome in. As you guys know, my name is Sokanei. You can call me Soki, Soka for short, whatever works for you. And I have been a VTuber for about 4 years, almost 5. It's been a long time, a long journey, and I have changed a lot since I started streaming. So, I just wanted to kind of take you guys down a little trip down memory road here, memory lane, and kind of show you, explain how I have evolved as a VTuber and just as a streamer in general. So, as most VTubers seem to, I did start off as a live cam streamer where I was on cam, had to be ready to be on camera all the time. And due to a few of my own insecurities, as well as just wanting the privacy, I was introduced to VTubers, and I think the first few I watched were Iron Mouse, Neanners, and probably Gura. And kind of as I started getting more and more into VTubers, I was like, I want to do that. I want to be one of those. How do I do this? So, I discovered Vroid. It's a free 3D program that you can get on Steam, or you can download off of Vroid itself, and you can make free VTuber models just right there with everything in the program already. If you'd like to add more things, you definitely can from Booth or Etsy, but you can do basically whatever you would like. And it's really good for somebody who's just starting out if you don't really know what you're going for just yet. We all learn as we grow. So I really like that because I didn't have to be cam ready anymore. I didn't have to necessarily worry if, my room might look a little bit messy or anything like that. It was really nice to not have to worry about that necessarily. But I used Vroid for a while. It was very nice. Eventually I learned things like that I could import different hairstyle presets, outfits, anything like that off of Etsy or Booth. I got some free ones. I got some paid ones. The really nice thing about Booth.pm, it is very cheap for the most part, depending on what you want, and it's all in Japanese yen, so it's even cheaper for me here in Canada. But started with Vroid, then started to realize that 2D models were a thing. I didn't realize there was two different things kind of when I started learning, but got into the 2Ds and decided that I wanted custom ones. So this was my first ever custom VTuber model. Okay. She is cute. I'm not really sure why I have a rose tattoo on my thigh there, but I do. But the concept of her is all completely my own with the work of the artist. I showed her what kinds of dresses I liked, that kind of stuff. This one I used for a little while, but I love the little ghost clip in my hair. Thought it was really cute. But anytime I looked to either side, I'm flat. So I stopped using it pretty quickly once I found out how Etsy and stuff like that worked. Also, as I kind of looked at it more, I noticed that there are, this is supposed to be a dress, but you can clearly see there's a disconnect there. And same with, I think it's, oh yeah, right here with my knee. You can see that, the fishnet doesn't line up. Yeah, I got the little steppies, it's cute, but as well as I think, up here, it looks like doll parts, and that was what I didn't like. I really did like how she drew her, though. The art is very nice. I like the eyes. I like that she took, again, they all take inspiration from my 3D model with the moon and the bat makeup. But again, as you can see, my mouth, oh, and right here, when I turn my head, it all disconnects up here, which I eventually noticed. So this was my first ever custom 2D model, and then I had a better one made, which was this one. And originally the little ties on my hip here weren't there, as well as most of this front part of the top of my dress was also not transparent like this. As you can see, my mouth doesn't move very good, but that's probably because I don't have the parameters set up because I just imported her again because I've gotten a new computer since. But she has wings on her head. She's got the wings on her hips. I really liked her. They took inspiration on the dress from the 3D model I was last using. Same with the moon on my forehead. I told her to take the bats as blush off, but again, just very stiff. And yes, you can go into parameters and play around with this stuff and fix it a little bit. I had the mouth moving a lot better, but just things that I didn't realize as a person trying to commission somebody and not knowing exactly what I was doing or exactly what I was looking for. But this is kind of how I should look. But as you can see, again, pretty stiff. This model doesn't step. My arms stay very straight. They barely move. Just stuff like that that I didn't realize was a difference in rigging depending on how much they know about rigging. But just, I want the quality and everything to be good for stream, and I just want everything to continue to go up rather than back down. So then I discovered that there were pre-made models that you could get on Etsy and other places. Booth also has them, as well as many other places. Like now we have VGen. There's different places you can get a VTuber. Pre-made means that anyone can buy them, and they're usually pretty cheap, and their rigging is a lot better, which is very interesting, but just how it seems to work. And so I started doing those, where I would buy one that was similar-ish to kind of what I thought might fit my vibe, or friends gifted me some, and I ended up with a slew of pre-made models. But the problem with pre-mades is that, like I said, anyone can buy them, and you can customize them as long as the artist says it's okay to change hair color, or if you want the outfit to be a different color or whatever. But usually those stay within the same realm, and therefore just you look a lot like everyone else. You aren't unique in your own right in that way when it comes to that. Then I discovered the magic of iPhone tracking, and I tried Hyper Online as well as Reality. They're both phone apps. They both can stream to their own platforms, as well as you can use them for streaming on Twitch or Kick or wherever you stream to. And that was fun. I liked that it kind of looked like a 2D model, but it kind of looks like a 3D model. It was really good. It had the iPhone tracking, which I still believe is the best tracking you can get for a VTuber. And it was great. I loved it. I could customize her, but there were things that were locked behind paywalls and things like that, where you either had to use IRL money to buy coins to then buy things from the store to customize your model, or things along that line, which was just kind of annoying. And it was the same thing with Reality, except Reality was more like a gacha game. So you could pull things, but of course, each thing had a certain rarity, and if you could get the same 50 things, even if you didn't want those same 50 things. The thing about Reality that I stopped was it seemed to be there was a lot of minors on there, which does make sense, but also because I'm an 18+ streamer, I didn't want to put myself or anyone else at risk, just because I do play a lot of horror games, I swear a lot, I probably say things that are inappropriate sometimes. So obviously I have to protect my audience and protect myself. So I moved away from Reality quite quickly. And also there was something at that time of you weren't supposed to be using Reality models on Twitch, whereas Hyper was fine with it either way. So I had those two. I missed the nice versatility of the iPhone tracking though, and then I discovered that you could do that with both the 2D pre-made models as well as your 3D. You can have 3D models tracked with iPhone. It's much better tracking in my opinion, and it just looks better in my opinion as well. So I ended up going back to using a VTuber model for a little while. I changed her up a lot. My very first one was a purple dress and kind of ombre-ish blue hair that I did all by myself within the program until I started learning how to bring stuff in, like I had said earlier. This was my second or third rendition of this model, of the merwolf pyre. I figured some stuff out, but one thing I also didn't like about 3D models, especially using this program, VSeeFace, is that I keep, like, my head is straight, but the rest of me is not. And you just slowly start drifting to not the right space. And, like, you can fix all this, but it was a lot of trial and error trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I fix this, you know? Eventually, we upgraded to something like this, where I discovered that I liked the red hair the best. I have my fangs, and I really like this makeup. You can't see it because of my bangs, but I do have, you can kind of, maybe kind of, I do have a crescent moon on my forehead because I like Sailor Moon, but I just liked the makeup. I thought the bats were really cute, and it would show even more that I am a vampire. I decided to move away from looking like a wolf and just deciding it was like part of who I was, but I showed it in different ways. I used to have different 3D models that I made for each look, if you will, and the vampire was always the main look. And eventually I decided that I was just going to throw them all together in one model, and that's how I became how I look today with the wolf ears and tail and everything. But this one I did not so long ago where I remade it. It was a sub goal. So I've got cute little bat outfit, the hoodie. The hoodie's the bat, essentially. And so we did this look because I normally don't go for short hair. And then we eventually came down to this. This is essentially how I used to look. Gosh, my mouth is gigantic. But this is eventually what we came down to. Looking like this. And I really like the long hair. The makeup's still the same. I've changed my eyes, trying to figure out what I like the most when it comes to how the eyes look, what size they are, all that kind of thing. Gave myself big lips because I guess that was a thing I liked at the time. These lips are gigantic though, and my mouth takes up half of my face, but hey. Yeah, and this is what we ended on as a 3D VTuber. And then after I discovered all of this, slowly as I was working my way through my pre-made 2D models, I discovered that somebody named Suika was making a customizable model. So this model is fully, she starts off completely white. You have different kinds of hair, different kinds of outfit changes you can do. You can make whatever you want. You can make yourself look just the way you want to. And I was so excited, but I didn't know how I was going to get her. I just knew that I really liked her. I could finally make myself look the way I wanted to. And I was very excited about that. Even things with things like customizable models, you also have to remember that, again, it's an anyone can buy it. And while everyone's customizations will look different, especially at least at this time when Suika was the only one that I knew of that had come out, you're all going to look the same with your facial features and stuff. They might be slightly different, but you're all going to look the same. Then, of course, you've got the people who can art and understand textures and changing textures and stuff, so there is that as well. A lot. I've learned a lot in my time as a VTuber. The thing that's amazing about Suika is if you wanted a custom model by Suika, at the very least, it would cost you base $5,000 just for a base VTuber model, not adding if you wanted V-Bridger or a different hairstyle or a different outfit, or depending on how complex your outfit is, or if you wanted a different toggle. All of that stuff is extra. So the fact that she made a customizable model for $150 when normally you would have to go to her and pay base $5,000 just for the quality of art and rigging that she gives you, absolutely amazing. Love it. It is one of the best models I've ever used. I love everything about Suika. Speaking of Suika, here she is. This is my Suika model. She looks a little different than how I originally had her customized, but I love the rigging. I love just how she looks. Her mouth movement is amazing. She's so pretty. The art's beautiful. Just very, very happy to have something that felt more like me. So I used Suika for a very long time. I used to have a different model, like a different outfit, if you will, for each thing that I am. So if you guys don't know, I am a merwolf-pyre. So I'm a mermaid, werewolf, vampire. So for a long time, the vampire look was the thing I went for. So I didn't have the ears, I didn't have the tail, but I had a certain outfit that you could change me to where I would add the tail and the ears, and that would be what you could change me to. They could change me to my mermaid model, which had a different hair color, all things to just be like, hey, this is like my mermaid side, this is my werewolf side, this is my vampire side. And the vampire side was the main, what I mainly wanted to go by, and I just felt was the easiest to use as a main model. She's beautiful. I love her. And so then, of course, after Suika did this, many, many other artists, riggers, both decided that they were going to come out with customizable models. And there are still many customizable models coming out. But the next one I discovered was the Senmaku, which is this one. Hello. So Senmaku, I really like. She's cute. She has good rigging as well. The only thing I super don't like about Senmaku's is when I nod my head, my arms are kind of like limp noodles unless I'm holding the controller toggle or doing the mouse and keyboard toggle. But both of these customizable models have different toggles, and both of them had things that I liked. So Suika has like a waving toggle and, crying, angry, hard eyes, that kind of thing. And while Senmaku does have the same things as that, she also has things like a microphone, which Suika didn't have, a controller, which Suika didn't have, and also one of my personal favorites is this one. Because I have a goldfish brain, and also sometimes it takes me a hot minute to understand something. So obviously every model is going to come with different toggles and different things about them that are better than others or worse than others, depending on what you want. I just wanted a model that I really liked the art for. I liked the rigging, but had everything that I wanted without it being custom. And I know I'm asking a lot. I know. But I really wanted that mesh of things. So Senmaku doesn't have a wave. She doesn't have a hello waving toggle, but she did have the microphone and the controller, which were two that I really liked. I just don't like not being able to move my hands. And with 3D models, you could move your hands with a leap motion if you had one of those. Now back to my Prism model. Hi, hello. This is the model I now use, and she is very customizable, like very, very customizable. She also has every toggle I could think of that I would want. She's got a wave. Hi, hello. She's got an angry. She has cash money eyes. She's got heart eyes. The, oh my god, you gonna make me cry. I'm shy. Star eyes. The I'm gonna get you. The the anime face. I'm scared, but also what the heck face. We got spiral eyes because I'm a little bit crazy. We got crying, of course. A microphone. A controller. And then I just have my toggles to move me around. So, what I love about the Prism model is that she has all the toggles I want in one. And she's so customizable that I feel like me. I feel like this is how I want Soki, me, to look. There's different outfits, and I do plan on making different outfits for redeems, but this is the main outfit. I'm still digging the wolf as my main look, if you will, and just have different things in my model that represent the other parts of me, if you will. If you look very closely, you can see that I have one eye is a paw print and one eye is a blood drop. I made them both black because I thought it might be better and looked better and just seems better. But I finally feel like this is what Soki is supposed to look like. And it's so customizable that I have several friends and or other people that I know that aren't friends, but like that I know of, that also have the Prism model, and we look nothing alike. And that is something I absolutely adore about this model. She's so customizable. She's so... You can just change everything and anything you'd want to change. And you don't have to look like anybody else. You can look like you can feel like you, and you don't have to worry, oh hey, like someone's gonna come in my stream and know I'm a Prism model, because we all look the same base wise at the very least. So this is my evolution. I've finally changed to something I think that I want to be. I want to stay as the Prism model, and at least until I get my own custom model, if that's something I want to do. But I'm very, very happy with my journey. I'm very, very happy being a VTuber, and I'm very happy to have had you guys along with me on the journey. And if you're new here, welcome to the journey. We're not going anywhere. This journey is continuing. Maybe I'll change a bunch more. Who knows? But I hope you guys stick around to find out. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and thank you for watching me become who I am. And I will see you guys next time. Remember, guys, dare to climb, but don't be afraid to fall. Bye!